Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Well, things are moving along at a fever pitch. Every once in a while, I'll catch a football game, NFL football game on television. I don't have TV at my house, but oftentimes a neighbor will invite me over. I think it's good to check in every once in a while to see what they're pushing in the NFL. And I'm glad that I did, because a peculiar commercial emerged during the Kansas City game: artificial intelligence. Now, for those of you that still watch football, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. We're going to cover that today. We're also going to get into a brand new film called The Creator, which is all about artificial intelligence. Now, we're not the only YouTube channel that has been warning about this for an entire decade. Back then, we were called conspiracy theorists, weren't we? When we talked about artificial intelligence taking over the world. Well, now, for those that are watching, artificial intelligence is in fact taking over the world, just as many YouTube channels said it would. Some of my friends online here have been talking about this. Nicholson, 1968, KJ, Scariest Movie Ever, and many, many others have been warning about the takeover of artificial intelligence. Now, what is artificial intelligence? Well, I believe that it will segue into the image of the beast. It is not a good thing, yet you look around you, and if you ask the average person who's not awake about artificial intelligence, people generally believe that it is a good thing. They generally believe it is a good thing, because artificial intelligence gives away convenience to those who allow it to be used. But at what cost is the question. Now, what's up with this movie? Well, you're going to be literally blown away. This movie is a cross between Stranger Things, E.T., and I, Robot. And it stars who I'm starting to call this guy, Goofy Denzel Washington. It's actually Denzel Washington's son. Denzel, remember, is Denzazel, because remember, he was possessed by Azazel in the movie Fallen, so we can call him Denzazel. Anyway, this is his son, and he looks almost exactly like Denzel Washington and talks like Denzel Washington with a slightly goofy slant. And it's kind of hard to explain. I don't like to poke fun of people, but it's kind of hard to explain this guy's acting. But for those who know what I'm talking about, you would probably agree. He even walks kind of funny, like Forrest Gump. And I'm not sure what the psyop is here about that, but there's definitely a psyop, and it is noticeable. Are you guys getting the same? Have you guys seen this actor? It's actually Denzel Washington's son. Let me get your opinion on this, if I'm over the target on this. He even, when he does his like stunts, he kind of stumbles around like he's not quite with it. He's got the traits of Denzel's acting, and he speaks almost exactly like him. There's hints of it, but he totally misses the mark. He misses that thing that Denzel had that made him a great actor. You could put Denzel Washington in any role, and he was pretty good at it. There was something about him, and it's just crazy. Well, some of you have never seen him. Well, you're going to see him today. Anyway, got off on a tangent there. So, why did I decode this film? Well, it is a blockbuster film. And it's kind of, like I said, a cross between Stranger Things, E.T., and iRobot. And it has themes that we have been covering on this channel, such as the barren womb. There's also a Hydra appearance, and the Cain bloodline, and so much more. Let's go ahead and get into this. So let me give you the backdrop. In the not too far distant future, artificial intelligence has accidentally dropped a nuke on Los Angeles. And what this does is it prompts the world leaders to turn against artificial intelligence and any country who harbors artificial intelligence. Now, Asia has basically held on to artificial intelligence. They believe in it. It becomes almost a religion. They defy the world order. They defy the United States despite warnings. And so the U.S. leads a seek and destroy mission against Asia. And it's headed up by a space-based weapon named Nomad. This is it right here, the space-based weapon Nomad. Now, of course, Nomad is almost the word demon backwards. But the thing about Nomad is that it resembles several symbols that we've covered. I've got a few angles of it here. In this angle, you can see the eyes of Molech. But then on other angles, like this angle in the center of your screen, it resembles a needle, the eye of a needle. And finally, as you'll see later in the decode, it looks like a womb as well. And all of these symbols are significant based on which angle that you're viewing Nomad. Now, the creepy thing about Nomad is that it's a space-based weapon, and it scans the surface of the ground with a blue beam from outer space. You can see it right here. Project Blue Beam. And the weird thing is that the beam actually emanates from the eye of the needle. So what does this suggest based on our research? Well, this suggests that the way that the rich man will pass through the eye of the needle is through transhumanism and artificial intelligence. Through the needle of alteration. Now, for those seamstresses out there, you know what the word alteration means. And you know that in order to alter something, you have to use needles. What the heck? Let me go into the chat here. Now, many of you remember we covered Trump's comment during a town hall meeting during the campaign before he was president. And they asked him how he would get through to heaven being a rich man, how he would get through the eye of the needle. And Trump responded by spending $200 million, or I think it was $500 million or $200 million on microscopic camels. This is exactly what he said. And what was he talking about? Well, we found out that SARS, the original vector for SARS, came out of camels. Was he spilling the beans about the coming COVID pandemic? This was back in 2015, 2016. He was saying this, you guys. Now, let's get back into Nomad. Now, what makes Nomad biblical is that Nomad wanders the sky, scanning Earth to find signs of artificial intelligence, and then they drop nukes on them. Now, who else was a nomad who wandered the earth? Let's see who gets the answer. This is crazy, you guys. Just crazy. Well, let's go into the chat. Good morning, everybody. I know it's early. Who else wandered the earth as a nomad? We're going to read it out of the Bible right now. All right, somebody's awake. Jesus was the good version of a nomad. That's an interesting point. Thanks, Solemn Peace, Cain. Cain was the nomad. That is an interesting point, because for everything God does that is good, there is a dark side version. And yes, you are absolutely correct. Jesus did wander the earth like a nomad and told his disciples to do the same. That would be the good version. But what did Cain do? Cain wandered the earth and he built cities to keep people firmly planted in this realm. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. This was the curse that God put on Cain and his bloodline. Now let's keep going with this, because the artificial intelligence, or the person who created it, is called Nirmata. Here it is right here, Nirmat, which kind of sounds like nomad, doesn't it? Normat, in a kind of a different language. So you've got these two entities. You've got Nomad from the United States fighting the AI, and then you've got the AI whose name is Nirmata. Now we're going to get into some clips of this in a minute, but I got to set this up for you guys so you know what you're looking at. The eye of the needle. Let's get started on some of these scenes.
"15 years since the nuclear explosion in Los Angeles launched the West into a war to eradicate AI.
So I'll be pausing this intermittently because especially these brand new films, you got to be very careful with the copyright. So they just talked about the nuke dropped on,
Becoming a permanent fixture over the battlefields of New Asia, where AI is making its last stand. The $1 trillion military station Nomad is finally helping the West win the war."
So look at this thing. Almost looks like a Batman symbol. Can you imagine this thing creeping around up in the sky, scanning the Earth, the blue beam?
We located Nirmata's lab. It's in the area where you were undercover.
So here's Goofy Denzel. Sorry. We have to have a little fun, right? And he had lost his arm during some kind of war. He's like a soldier. They sent him in to try to infiltrate the artificial intelligence and find who originated the artificial intelligence and take them out. So he falls in love with this woman who he thinks is the daughter of the originator of artificial intelligence. But she is actually the leader of artificial intelligence, but he doesn't realize it. He fails his mission, but they want to send him back in. Why? Because artificial intelligence has developed a new weapon to take out Nomad. What is the new weapon? Alpha Omega. Literally everything we've been talking about. Let's keep watching here. Try not to laugh at Goofy Denzel.
You're gonna want to see this, Sergeant. Our intelligence tells us that Nirmata's developed a super weapon called Alpha O. It's designed to destroy Nomad.
Alpha O. Wow. I wonder if his acting like that is intentional. It just seems like it, doesn't it? Now, as you just heard, artificial intelligence has designed a weapon to defeat Nomad. It's called Alpha Omega. And I was like, wait a minute, I had to rewind that like 4 times. Because we had already identified Alpha Omega, the false Alpha Omega, hadn't we? Now here's an image of Nomad. And here you see the owl eyes. And out of the eyes comes the blue beams. We're going to have to do some research on owl eyes. I think they're highly reflective, if I'm not mistaken. And I wonder if there is some kind of rabbit hole to discover how light enters the eye of an owl. Wow, maybe I'll work on that today. And there's Nomad releasing a nuke after it's found an AI stronghold.
Alpha Omega, I'm gonna call you Alpha. All right, that's your new name. Your new name's Alpha, you understand?
So there is Denzel discovering now that Alpha Omega, the secret weapon, was hidden in a child. Now the child has special abilities, and this is where you get into the Stranger Things aspect, because the child kind of looks like, or acts like L from Stranger Things. This child who says really like profound stuff and makes you really sad by the things that they say. This is all Hollywood magic to evoke a response, to make you have sympathy for artificial intelligence. And so the child really isn't a threat in terms of being a weapon, other than the fact that it can neutralize Nomad. And what the artificial intelligence wants to do is bring humanity together with artificial intelligence. But the Americans are depicted as the bad guys for wanting to destroy it. Do you see the reverse psychology here? Big bad America wants to destroy the poor little robots to get you sad for artificial intelligence. Complete reverse psychology here. So the rest of the film devolves into artificial intelligence, virtue signaling, robot worship, and of course, humanizing artificial intelligence. And the setup here, I believe, is to one day basically pass hate speech laws to protect artificial intelligence. There will come a day within our lifetime where artificial intelligence will be given human rights. Alpha, Omega. Now, in this dystopian future, there are those who support AI and those who want to exterminate it. So this is obviously pre-programming against any people who have questions about artificial intelligence and who don't trust it, or anybody that sees AI for what it is, which I believe is Satan's kingdom. And the people that are sympathetic to AI in the movie are asked to donate their likeness to artificial intelligence. Watch this. Do you see the Vesica Pisces and the smiley faces? I hope you do, because we've covered this, haven't we? The merging of man, beast, and artificial intelligence. The merging of the two seeds. Because first what has to happen is man has to be chimerized, turn into a beast, before they can merge us with machines. That's the order of events.
Donate your likeness. Get scanned today. Support AI.
Soon, our Savior is coming with the power to end all wars. They created us to be slaves, but we will be delivered from slavery.
Our Savior is coming. They created us as slaves, but we will be delivered from slavery. Pure blasphemy. A robot preaching spirituality and a savior. Now, of course, their savior is the Alpha Omega child. The false Alpha Omega. Right? Because Jesus says, I am the Alpha and the Omega. Now, in this next scene, Washington discovers that his girlfriend is actually the creator of AI. And that this weapon that she created, this child, the real child, was lost during an attack. And so she recreated the AI child in the image of the lost child. Are you seeing the psychology behind this?
I wish I could be with you again. Please. I promise I will make it right.
So this is his girlfriend, Maya. She's human, and she's on life support because she had lost the child during the attack and has been on life support ever since. But she had just completed making the artificial intelligence child, and she's just stuck on life support. And the robots can't, turn her off. They can't take away the life support. to let her die. They say only a human can do that because of their programming. So Goofy Denzel has to be the one to turn off the life support. So, what is this about? Well, it's pretty clear, isn't it? The death of the natural womb and the rise of the artificial intelligence child that she created in its image. What the heck?
Goodbye, Mother.
I love you.
He pulls the plug, and there's the death of the womb. That only man can do. We are the ones doing it because we keep believing the lies of man. We're violating one of the cardinal rules of the Bible to not put our trust in men. We do it every day, every time we cast a vote, swear an oath. And these are the very people that are marching us toward this new kingdom. The electric kingdom, the artificial intelligence kingdom. Nobody's going to stop it until we stop giving our consent. But there aren't enough people awake, are there? There aren't enough people. And the tide of progress is too great. But it doesn't mean we should ever give up. Then Nomad shows up. And here's the angle of Nomad that looks like a womb. Watch. So there it is right there. Do you see now how the different angles of this look like different things? That's a womb, isn't it? That is the new birth. That is the birth of AI. Then we get an appearance of the Hydra. Now, what is the context of this scene? Well, Goofy Denzel boards Nomad and he plants a bomb. And he's trying to escape before the bomb explodes. So he and the child are trying to escape in an escape pod. But before they do, they're attacked by a black graphene Hydra. Wow. And then at the end, we get the final confirmation after Goofy Denzel blows up Nomad and it's on the ground and you see the child standing in front of it. What are you looking at right here? Who has eyes to see this scene? Because you may be one of the only people out of the millions of people that have gone to see this in the theaters that actually knows what you're looking at in this scene. Let's see who gets the answer. I'm not going to give it away. What are you looking at right there? Just wow. And it's sad that the only people that see this stuff are the people that mostly come to this channel. Because I think we go on pretty deep. There you go. I'm just you, you just me. Got it. It's a fallen angel. And believe it or not, you're the only people out of the millions of people that go to the theater that actually saw that scene for what it was. Because of all of the research that we've all done together over the last 10 years. In your face, the child is the new birth, the birth of the fallen angel, right there in your face. The wings, Nomad forming the wings of the child. I should stop calling it a child because it's not. It's a robot. Now, let's get into the NFL. Because during the season opener for the NFL, which happened on the eve of 9/11, yes, September 10th was the season opener for the NFL, they promoted this film with AI robots. They showed up to promote the movie. Let's play some of this. This is creepy. I'm going to turn the sound off on this, just because I don't know about the copyright, of course. Look at this. Now, are these humans or are they robots? The coverage of this is intentionally vague. It's intentionally vague as to whether or not these are robots or people. I looked it up because I wanted to find out what's going on. Look at this.
And then realizing you are seated next to an AI robot. In true LA fashion, the bots were there.
And look at it, it's the Chargers. I hope you're awake. Because going into these last days, this kind of symbolism is critical. We've talked all about the Chargers. We've talked all about the lithium batteries in the volcano. And even the zigzag mark of the electricity. We've talked about the cult of Tlaloc, which is the lightning bolt. He uses a lightning bolt as a wand and requires human sacrifice into a volcano after pulling a flaming heart out of the chest of its victims. We talked about how Burning Man fit into this. It was a ritual, the burning of the man, the end of the man, and the rise of all of this. Do you see how every single thing we've covered fits into all of this? Let's keep watching. Now, I don't know if these are real or not. Let's listen to what she has to say.
As a promotional stunt, it's for an upcoming movie, The Creator. It shocked fans, though, and they were posting on it, social media about it, and of course...
Look at these people. They have no idea. They're there thinking they're enjoying a football game. They have no idea where the world has come and how close we are to the end. All they care about is beer and football. God help this world. They don't even realize that probably it was a requirement to get to the football game. They probably had to get poked.
That was even more advertising for the film.
Notice the intentional vagueness. They don't say if they're human or not, and it seems to be on purpose. Now, what else is going on? Well, watch this. Believe it or not, artificial intelligence has already infiltrated the NFL. Let's take a look at this video here.
Complete one of the most improbable plays of the game. With each tick of the clock, AI from Amazon Web Services processed thousands of data points.
So they're processing data points
To generate real-time insights, proving that a 19% chance was all Foles needed to change.
19% chance. Are you awake yet? I hope you are.
The course of history.
Here's another one. I almost jumped out of my chair over at the neighbor's house as these commercials came up. But of course, most people are asleep, so I couldn't really go, hey, do you notice that? Because look how dark this stadium is. Wow. What if this isn't just a What? I'm speechless. Probably about 10 years ago, we started talking about stadiums harvesting energy. We wondered if they were built in such a fashion to capture the energy of the people inside. You all who come to this channel remember those discussions. Well, they're now admitting it, that they're collecting data for artificial intelligence.
What if this isn't just a stadium? What if it's actually a data source that could shape the future of football?
I'm speechless. Let me go back into the chat and we'll finish this commercial. Wow. They're literally harvesting the stadium. Wow. Do you see how they're normalizing artificial intelligence so that they can easily segue public sentiment to accept the image of the beast in the new breed of robots? The likeness. Remember in the film, The Creator? Donate your likeness. Well, what is a likeness? It's your image. The image of the beast. But first, they had to combine man with beast first. The chimerism came first, didn't it? Then comes the image of the beast in the form of robots. Maybe that's what this is. It's the idol of the beast. It's the final combination of man with technology. Let's finish watching this ad here.
Help keep players healthy, safer, and reduce injuries. The NFL with Amazon Web Services is using...
So it's this Amazon Web Services. Notice they got the Chargers and the Eagles. They've got the feathered serpent, which is the eagle, and they charge it with electricity.
Artificial intelligence to create the digital athlete, an injury
the digital athlete.
prevention and prediction tool, running any play from any angle in any condition.
Is artificial intelligence actually giving the plays to coaches for the best probable outcome? Is this why the NFL seems scripted? There's a YouTube channel called Something A-Hole. Brad Condon told me about it. And this guy basically predicts, or not predicts, he shows all of the scripted plays of the NFL every week. And it's funny because he shows people getting wide open. No one's covering them. He shows people intentionally dropping footballs. He even shows that they're using magnetic gloves and magnetic footballs. I couldn't believe it at first. I'm like, there's no way they're using magnetic gloves. But he shows that the technology is already out there. They already have these magnetic gloves. It's for youth football. And he shows how the football sticks to the glove. Like it's magnetized.
Talking infinite simulations, because striving to make the game safer is no longer a what if, but what's next.
What the heck? I can't even believe what I just watched. Unbelievable. Now, tomorrow, the new Hunger Games movie, The Feathered Serpent. Songbirds and snakes. Let me go back into the chat. So what is the takeaway from... I'm not trying to be dramatic. I know it might come across that way, but sometimes you have to level up with this stuff to get people's attention because they're just completely asleep. What is the takeaway from the creator? The takeaway is pre-programming to define artificial intelligence as a sentient being. It's also about the death of the natural womb. Had he not cut those days short, there would be no flesh left. Let's go into the chat. Good morning. There's Dr. Savage, Devin X. Hey, Dr. Savage, if you can you email me that OG? I know you've been trying to get my attention with that OG ancient text. You're going to have to email that to me, please, because I cannot find a link to get that ancient text without paying for it or putting my information in. So if you have a PDF of that, that would be much appreciated. You can email it to caseybrown1973@gmail.com. Thank you very much. Savage has a good YouTube channel. I've got his channel linked in on my channel. So let's go into the chat, see what's up with you guys. Just blown away. Every so often I'm blown away, and today is one of those days. All right. Thanks, Dr. Savage. Appreciate it. They're literally admitting that artificial intelligence could be calling the plays for the best probable outcome. That's crazy, you guys. And I wonder if they're seeing if the outcome is actually manifesting. Okay. Yeah, the name of the channel that I think it's called Jake the A-Hole or something. Wait, let me look. Let me see if I can see it on my phone here. He's got a funny channel name, but it's actually a pretty good channel because he shows all of the scripted plays. And it's obvious once he slows it down and shows you what's going on. Like intentional interceptions. Yeah. Crazy. Does anyone know the name of the channel? I want to get this right. You can just put A-Hole. Oh. Okay, hold on. I know how to look it up. I'll look at Brad's text message he sent me. Wait, he might have just told me on the phone. Dang it. Someone will figure it out. He's got about 100 and something thousand subscribers. Is it Jake the A-Hole, Barry? I think it is. So, I was shocked because I didn't think that artificial intelligence was mainstream. But then, when I was over at the neighbors watching the game and I saw all these artificial intelligence commercials, I'm not going to roast anybody because I'm trying to learn not to do that. But someone that I used to know a long time ago, who knows Max, was saying that they were going to get into artificial intelligence and it was the wave of the future and we should all get on board with it. I was like, what the hell did you just say? But I didn't say anything. I held my tongue. I was like, what? What you talking about, Willis? So this is what people think now? In order to stay out of the curve and make a bunch of money, you should get on board with artificial intelligence? Is that the sentiment in the mainstream now? It just blows me away, you guys. Walking right into the enemy's traps. Well, there you go. Yes, it's like the days of Noah. All right. Well, here, let's do this. Let's do a poll. Now, of course, there's going to be a, what do you call it? Slanted poll, obviously, because we're all awake here. Let's do a poll. You would be shocked. Is AI a good thing? Just asking the question. I mean, I would think that unanimously people would say absolutely not. But believe it or not, the mainstream people believe it is. Thanks, Dr. Savage. I'll review that. I'm also going to go down the rabbit hole of how light reflects in the eyes of an owl. I think there's a clue there. Yes, I believe AI is a demonic possession. It's just straight up. Like there's 5% that say it is a good thing. So, wow. All right, you guys. I'm going to get into the trailer for the Hunger Games. I got to write myself some notes here, otherwise I'm going to forget. Trailer, Hunger Games. Also, owl light reflection eyes, and read og from Savage. What else do I need to do? My to-do list. Anything else I forget? Yes, AI is demons. I agree 100%. All right. Poll came up before I wrote it. Really? Creepy. Probably artificial intelligence. All right, what else? Okay. Everyone says turn off your devices on October 4th. Yeah, no, he doesn't. But okay. All right. Don't forget to get some good old fresh air and sunlight. Yeah. Amen. All right, guys, I'm going to pop off of here. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. I got some work to do today. Have a great day, everybody. Take care.